Fall camp is over and it's game week. The RedHawks preparing for the Marshall Thundering Herd this Saturday, 3:30 at Yeager Stadium. We'll preview the RedHawks and look forward to the homecoming matchup with Marshall coming up next on RedHawk Football Weekly. This is RedHawk Football Weekly. Brought to you by G&J Pepsi-Cola of Hamilton, refreshing Southwestern Ohio since 1939. By Koenig Equipment, found online at KoenigEquipment.com. By Marathon, fueling the American spirit. By Bud Light, reminding you to enjoy responsibly among friends. Steve Baker talks with Miami head football coach Chuck Martin after this on RedHawk Football Weekly.
You are the center of a universe. That's what we've learned in 160 years serving our community. Everybody means the world to someone. So when you're in here, or if someday you find yourself in here, and when all you can think about is the world that revolves around you, we'll be a world that revolves around you too. Mercy Health. Healthcare for the universe of you.
Pizza with Pepsi. Delicious.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome into RedHawk Football Weekly, our first edition for the 2018 season. I'm Steve Baker, along with head coach Chuck Martin. And Coach, let's just jump right into it. Game week, I know you look forward to it for 9 months at a time, 9 months ahead of time. But now that it's here, are you ready for game week, or would you like to have another week or so to get ready for it?
No, we're excited. I think we're ready. I mean, it's got to play one. We've been practicing for 9 months. We've been competing against each other in fall camp. Kids are excited, coaches are excited, fans are excited. Having Marshall as your opener adds the excitement. The fact that it's homecoming adds the excitement. Marshall's going to bring a good crowd. We have a nice little rivalry. It's not a long-term rivalry with Marshall. We have a nice little history with Marshall, playing really competitive, high-level football. We had a great game with them a year ago. Obviously, we did not come out on the right side of the ledger on that one, but it was a tremendous football game. So having an opener of this caliber makes it even all the more exciting and gives you a really good assessment of your football team.
Absolutely. Now, going through fall camp a little bit and seeing some of the battles that took place, you have a lot of people back on this football team, great returning starters, veterans on this team, and still there was room for battles out there on the football field for playing time, lineups, position in that 2 deep.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the maturity and growth of our team is spring ball and fall camp, even though we had a lot of returning starters, was crazy competitive, where there wasn't veterans taking their foot off the gas thinking, okay, I'm going to start. I've been a 2-year starter. I've been a 3-year starter. In some cases, these kids are going to be 4-year starters, and I'm just going to coast through spring, summer, and fall, and then I'm going to turn it on, which is a good sign for Miami football. It was a lot of fun to be part of the spring ball, the summer conditioning, and the fall camp, just because we broke camp last Wednesday, and that was as good a practice we've had. I mean, our kids were still competing and fighting for every inch, and that's all we've preached since January is how competitive are you going to be, how mentally tough are you going to be, how physically tough you're going to be, and we're excited about the 2018 RedHawks.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the offense and start with those big guys up front. And you and I have talked a few times about the offensive line this season, and real quality up front to start, and the backups with a ton of experience last year.
Yeah, and as we know, it's a long season, and you're going to play 13 games, and you're going to need a lot of guys at every position, and obviously offensive line is where it starts and ends with the offense. Can you move people in the run game and give your talented tailbacks a chance to get out in space? Can you protect your quarterback and give him time to make decisions and throw the ball? Obviously, a great group up front. Last year, we learned early that we're going to need quality backups, and we had, so we have multiple starters returning. When you lose your center and your right tackle early in the year for the entire season, then other kids step up and do a tremendous job last year. Now we really got 7-8 starters coming back of guys that actually have started and played really good football for us. So there's great depth up there. There's great experience up there. We understand, we've talked about since we got here, that if we're ever going to get this program back to a championship level, you better be good in the trenches, and if you're not, you're never going to be as good as you want to be. So we're excited about the group of guys. We're certainly excited about the depth. There's too many guys to even talk about that are going to play and have played and are going to contribute to the success of our offense, but that's where it starts and finishes with the offense.
Obviously, their job one is protecting the quarterback, and Gus Ragland is back for his senior season, and he has looked as good as I've seen him look in practice. And you also have that battle there for number 2 with Jackson Williamson and also Alex Malzone, the Michigan transfer.
Yeah, and it's obviously having a experienced quarterback at the trigger. We've got an experienced offensive line in front of them. You got some great seniors. Gus brings mobility. Gus brings the ability to throw the football, but Gus brings leadership. He brings toughness. He brings the love of the football game. So you have a senior there. Obviously, with Reagan McCullum being 3- and 4-year starters, up front, you got some crazy great senior leadership there. So it's not just talent, but it's having the leaders in place to control the room, to control the day in, day out, to grind through the routine, to handle the up and down. So, Gus brings more than ability, like we always talk about. Right. He's just like everyone else. He didn't take his foot off the gas. He didn't say, I'm definitely going to be the starter. I'm going to coast through this. He competes as hard as anybody in our program to get better every day.
Yeah. Running back, and just like going into last year, 4 quality backs that you have back there, and each of them brings something different to the table, different styles.
Yeah, crazy versatility, and we like to have versatile tailbacks, and we like to play a lot of tailbacks like everyone. We like to play multiple tailbacks. So you're going to see sets on offense with 2 tailbacks, with 3 tailbacks. You might see a set with 4 tailbacks, who knows? But obviously seniors Kenny Young and Alonzo Smith are 2 tremendously gifted players that have had great careers, and we hopefully they're going to go out having their best seasons their senior year. I know they're working hard. Then you got Maurice Thomas, who we just talked about in the press conference, electric guy who can do so many different things on offense, running, catching, returning. Then you got Jalen Bester, who really played strong down the stretch. And then we got a redshirt freshman, Davian Johnson, I think you're going to see also as the year rolls on. So I think there's 5 deep. They can run, they can catch, they can block. We're going to ask them to do all their jobs. We have very high expectations for that group, led by the 2 seniors, Zoe and Kenny. And we look to have a great year in the backfield.
That's a group that I'm really looking forward to seeing on the field come Saturday against Marshall. And the wide receiver core, again, very deep. You lost some guys. But other people have stepped up. Luke Mayock comes to mind. He played quite a bit last year, but his role in the fall has seemed to increase. And, of course, anchored by James Gardner, who, again, I watch him in the fall and just making catches that nobody else can make, but you expect James Gardner to make.
Yeah. James has made the extraordinary look ordinary. And it's so hard because, like you said, he makes catches other people will never make, and he makes them every day.
Yeah.
And we see it every day in practice. We see it every week on Saturday. It's not like 2 or 3 times a year James will make an exceptional catch. And it's so routine for him that if another guy made the catch, everyone would be hooping and hollering in practice and, hey, great job, and what a catch. When James does it, it's like, that's what James does.
Business as usual.
And it's very frustrating for the secondary because even when you cover him well, if the quarterbacks put the ball in a halfway decent position, James, like Plastic Man, seems to find a way to get an arm or a leg or something. There's times we're holding him, and he finds still a way to shake something loose and make a big-time play. Obviously, Mayock's going to have a bigger role. You lose Sam Martin and Jared Murphy, who's now with the Bengals, who had great careers for us. Now Mayock's got an opportunity. Jack Sorensen and Don Robinson will either be key members to add to the group. But we've seen Luke, every time we've put Luke out there since his freshman year, he just makes plays. We know that. So he hasn't played as much because of some depth ahead of him, but this is a big moment for him to take some pressure off James on the other side.
Well, and you mentioned Dom and Jack Sorensen, Jalen Walker. You got quality depth there as well.
Yeah, no, we're excited about that group. There's going to be some opportunities for some new guys to step in and that the fans don't know that much about yet and step in and become big-time players for us.
All right, Coach, stay right there. When we come back, we'll talk the defense of the RedHawks, and a little bit later on, of course, we'll preview this Saturday's matchup with the Marshall Thundering Herd. Homecoming this Saturday at 3:30 at Yager Stadium. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
From the creators of Dr. Pepper comes the story of a town where every day is Saturday, and everyone is a fan. And this fall comes the most dramatic season, I can feel it, of their lives.
What is it?
New neighbor sheriff.
We're Batmans.
Everyone wants that trophy.
Are you kidding me?
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville, kicking off this fall.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up.
Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Diamonds on my wrist, they drippin'. Ice. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin'.
Mountain Dew Ice, a clear, refreshing lemon lime dew.
This segment of RedHawk Football Weekly is brought to you by Courtyard Marriott Hamilton, conveniently located just miles from Miami University. Welcome back to RedHawk Football Weekly as we preview the RedHawks and get ready for this Saturday's home opener, homecoming weekend here in Oxford against the Marshall Thundering Herd. Steve Baker, head coach Chuck Martin back, and we talked about the offense. Let's switch sides and go to the defense. And again, we'll start up front, looking at the two deep, just quality starters up there and quality depth. This is an area where I'm sure if you got 3 or 4 deep, you're going to see them during a football game.
Yeah, no, and everybody rotates at D-line, then particularly in our opener with Marshall being up-tempo offense, it's going to be even more critical to play a bunch of guys. We'll probably go 8 to 10 deep up front. Again, excited about Nate Trawick, Mac Duffin, Pasquale Calcagno as 3 seniors that have been here. They're tremendous football players, but they're tremendous leaders. They're 3 of our hardest working guys on the whole football team, regardless of position. Guys that empty the bucket for their teammates. So you start with 3 seniors that can control that room and get that room, because we have a lot of young guys that we're developing and need that upper class leadership. Every position needs it, but when you have a younger group, you really need to rely on those older guys to really help show those younger guys. The growth from January to now in that room has been tremendous. Coach Whitlow's come in and done a great job with these young guys and even with the seniors. So we're excited about the seniors, and there's a whole slew of other guys going to play. Doug Costin's returning starter. He's also adding leadership, but he's as gifted a player as we had up there. He's played end, he's played tackle, he can play inside, he's going to play outside. We're going to try to play him all over the place so that the offenses don't know exactly where he will be on a given down. And then we got a lot of young guys. Isaac Hampton inside is going to get a ton of reps inside. Trawick and Mack have taken him under the wing, and Isaac's really talented, and they're really helping him grow in a hurry. On the perimeter, we got Sharp, we've got Josh Mays, we've got Kimpler, who we're really excited about. We got a freshman, Cam Butler's, that's going to be in the mix. So I think we'll go 8 to 10 deep on Saturday, inside, outside. And I think we'll have to, particularly with the heat and the up-tempo. But it's a group that's coming. They're going to continue to get better as the year goes on, because all those young guys are getting a lot of their first action this Saturday. So we got to keep developing that room as the year goes on, but we think it can be a really strong group.
Linebacking core, best in the MAC. 2 guys that have been there throughout the years, redshirt senior Brad Koenig and junior McMullen. You watch those guys on the football field, and they're clearly one mind in coordinating what they do, but they also do a great job of coordinating the defense.
Yeah, and 2 tremendously gifted athletes. Junior at the Mike Koenig at the Will, both run and hit guys. They've both taken, like we talked in the presser, of really how can I improve my most going to my senior years, really was leadership and communication and running of the defense. And they've really done a tremendous job the last 9 months. Coach Nowinski's come in and really talked about how they've got to protect the team in every single situation, and they got to organize and run the team, and they've really done a good job. We know they're tremendously gifted football players. We've watched that for 3 years.
Absolutely.
So they not only got to make all the plays, but they got to quarterback our defense, and they got to organize everything and be the heart and soul of our defense day in, day out, and they're doing a tremendous job.
Absolutely. And now in the secondary, this is where you had the biggest losses in Tony Reed, Heath Harding. Tough guys to replace if you can replace them, but you've got guys back there. And you talk about battles. There's a couple of big battles back there still going on as we enter game week, but that just leads to quality depth back there.
Yeah, no doubt. And we got our other outside backer position, Darius Thompson, who's played late in the year, and Bart Barati are in a really nice battle. You're going to see both those guys play a lot. Obviously, having DeAndre Daniels back, Josh Allen back, and DeAndre Montgomery back, it's nice. You got 3 quality players who have started a lot of games here and can kind of anchor what's going on back there. And then the other corner position where Heath is gone, you got Zedrick Raymond, you got Alan Koiko, you got Cedric Assay, you got Trey Banks. Who else am I missing? There's
No,
one
I
other
think
guy.
you got
So
yeah.
we got a whole slew of characters that are competing really for playing time at one position. And again, like we told in the presser, like, excited that the quality of play there, we probably like to see somebody totally separate themselves, which we haven't seen yet, but we think we're going to have really good depth. And again, in the first game, they're going to be going fast and running a lot of deep balls, and we're going to be running guys in and out there, and maybe somebody will separate themselves in week one.
Jaden Rucker Furillo was the
Yes,
other
yeah,
player
there we
that
go.
you were looking for, freshman out of Dayton, Ohio. That's a look at the defense. And, Coach, I got to ask you, we did a lot of interviews with the players this year, and all except one position group has a different coach coaching them this year, and you've added some people to the coaching staff. And everybody we talked to, each player said they love the new coach that they have. So a little bit about the philosophy of the changing of positions, and tell us about the new guys coming in.
Yeah, just again, we've been very fortunate since we've been here. We were one of, I think, 4 staffs that had no changes for a 3-year run, which college football, you're typically going to have staff changes year in, year out, and there's always people moving on. It's just the way it is. So we had a couple people move on, so we had some opportunities. Then they added a 10th assistant.
Right.
So that created another opportunity, and then just based on what we felt like the needs, and we moved Coach Breeken over to defense, which to me is going to be his natural position. He was a defensive back for me back in the day. Create the opportunity with ST to move Coach Pelsick to ST. He's been the main guy on our ST, has done a tremendous job. We had the opportunity to have a full-time ST guy, which we haven't really felt like we've had, but when you add the 10th assistant, so now you got a guy full-time doing ST 24/7, and a guy we already know, as opposed to bringing somebody from the outside that we didn't know as well, a guy we know and trust that's done a quality job already. And then obviously having Coach Whitlow and Coach Nowinski. We talked about Coach Whitlow up front and Coach Nowinski, 2 people that I've known for a while that we just felt like they were the right fit for their room at this time, with energy and toughness and intensity and kind of the direction we want to keep pushing this program going into year 5 as we continue to grow this thing. What you maybe need year 1 and what you need year 5 maybe not always be the same thing. So we're excited about the new coaches. We're excited about the players. We're excited that the season's getting ready to start.
All right, Coach, we'll come back in just a moment. Our final segment, we'll talk about this Saturday and the Marshall Thundering Herd as they invade Yeager Stadium at 3:30 for homecoming. We'll be back with that in just one moment. Stay with us on RedHawk Football Weekly. This segment of RedHawk Football Weekly has been brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott Hamilton, conveniently located just miles from Miami University.
You are the center of a universe. That's what we've learned in 160 years serving our community. Everybody means the world to someone. So when you're in here, or if someday you find yourself in here, and when all you can think about is the world that revolves around you, we'll be a world that revolves around you too. Mercy Health. Healthcare for the universe of you.
From the creators of Dr. Pepper comes the story of a town where every day is Saturday and everyone is a fan. And this fall comes the most dramatic season I can feel it of their lives.
What is it? New neighbor, Sheriff.
We're Batmans.
Everyone wants that trophy.
Are you kidding me?
Dr. Pepper.
And we're back on RedHawk Football Weekly, our final segment in our first edition for the 2018 season. Steve Baker, head coach Chuck Martin, Marshall Thundering Herd coming in this Saturday, 3:30. And, last year a 31-26 loss down in Huntington in a tightly contested football game. And the bad news is that Marshall has almost everybody back. Doc is bringing in a very talented group in here, and it should be an absolute war on Saturday.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be for the faint of heart.
Right.
If you don't like football, you don't like to hit and be hit, it's not going to be the place to be. Really athletic group on both sides of the ball he has, as he always does. Really athletic group on ST. Explosive returners, guys that can block kicks, guys that can cause major issues. Defensively, they run and hit. They create a lot of turnovers. They're great at stripping the football. They attack the football in the air. They got one of the best D linemen in the country, an inside kid that's ranked, I think, 6th in the country, of the best inside kids. So we got our hands full on offense with their speed and their explosiveness on defense. Their offense, other than losing their quarterback and tight end, everybody's back. They got, the Johnson, the Williams kid, the Brady kid are crazy explosive receivers, as good a receiving group as we're going to see all season. Maybe the best group we'll see all season. And then everybody back up front and three really quality tailbacks back. I mean, they can run tailbacks in and out and explosive, fast. So I think they're going to be more committed to running the ball this year. I think that's things you listen to Doc's comments that they love the way they threw it. I think he felt like they could have ran it better last year. I think with the new OC, they brought in a guy that's going to be more committed to being balanced, not that they're going to throw the ball any worse than they did. I think they're still going to throw the ball at a high level. I just think they want to be more balanced. They're going crazy fast from everything you read, so they're going to be a crazy up-tempo team. Which is going to, week one, it's going to be hot. You're going to have to play a bunch of guys. So there's going to be tremendous stressors. It's a great opener to build on from the season. Obviously, we went down to Huntington last year, and it was a great football game, and we made a couple key mistakes, and it ends up costing us a game. So we got to eliminate those game-changing plays, which 2 kickoff returns and a pick 6 are game-changing plays. And we got to take care of the football. We got to get those turnovers. Maybe we get the big special teams play this year, and comes down the wire and we make that last play.
Absolutely, and playing at Yager Stadium can't be a bad idea either. As you get ready for this football game, Coach, this is a great home opener. You mentioned it. You could schedule a lot of different ways, but I think playing a team of Marshall's caliber here in the opener is just an incredible way to get going in this season. Yeah, no, it's a way to jump right in and get after it. And we talked a lot in the offseason. We've talked, and just like Coach Mallory passing away, and it's like you think that's what Coach Mallory would want. Like, he wouldn't want some Patsy coming in here. He'd want Marshall in here on homecoming, and let's get after and let's see who we are, and let's go nose to nose and toe to toe. So we've talked a lot about that, and we talked a lot about playing the game the right way all the time. And like I said, I was fortunate enough to get to know Coach Mallory a little bit during my first 4 years here. And we think about him, and we're kind of playing the season with him in mind, that we're going to get after people just like Coach Mallory's old teams did. Coach, good luck on Saturday. Thank you. That'll do it for this edition of RedHawk Football Weekly. Again, 3:30 at Yager Stadium on Saturday. It's the Marshall Thundering Herd on homecoming here in Oxford. For Coach Martin, I'm Steve Baker. Thanks for watching. This has been RedHawk Football Weekly, brought to you by G&J Pepsi-Cola of Hamilton, refreshing Southwestern Ohio since 1939. By Koenig Equipment, found online at KoenigEquipment.com. By Marathon, fueling the American spirit. By Bud Light, reminding you to enjoy responsibly among friends. RedHawk Football Weekly is a sports production of Miami University and IMG College.
Pizza with Pepsi. Delicious.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar.
This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
You are the center of a universe. That's what we've learned in 160 years serving our community. Everybody means the world to someone. So when you're in here, or if someday you find yourself in here, and when all you can think about is the world that revolves around you, we'll be a world that revolves around you too. Mercy Health. Healthcare for the universe of you.
And we're back on RedHawk Football Weekly. Our final